Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic.
And I am Most Evil Life Form.
And we're once again reacting to the RWBY soundtrack. It is still season 1. I realized that we might have had slight sound issues, and the meaning of that the video was a little bit too loud, but I think it's okay because we discussed most of the stuff afterwards. So, whatever. Which means I will this time look a little bit more there, because I can see there if it is too loud or not, hopefully. So, we will continue this time with the Mirror Mirror, From Shadows, and I Burn. So, you might guess who those three songs are about.
Never.
Never occurred to you which
Never.
one? Nah. Yeah, strangely enough, the whole season 1 is not available on Flint's YouTube channel, Weiss. Sorry. Most of it. So that's no question, that's the typical Mirror Mirror thing. Except for that. Well, someone really...
Flashing lights warning.
I mean, she's the one that's supposed to be a singer, so it's very fitting that that one sounds a lot like classical. Snowflakes.
You don't say. Yeah. So more and more Snow White references.
A lot.
Yeah, not who's the fairest of them all, who's the loneliest of them all.
Yeah, it's very close to the originals. Mirror Mirror, Tell Me Something, but the first change is really the loneliest here. So, I mean, we've seen that we know now by having watched the seasons, that she I mean, it makes sense that she was lonely. She was living in a huge mansion. Her mother separated from her a lot, as we know by now. Her father is, in the end, not a real father. Her brother is... Well, we know her brother. And I guess there were like...
Winter is already gone.
Yeah, but there are two persons. The one was Winter, the big sister who left years ago, and the butler.
Yeah.
So, and it tells you a lot if in a mansion with your family where everyone is there except for one sister, the person closest to you is the butler. So, I mean, he's kind of like a second father, I guess. So, like, I'm not sure, like,
It's difficult to make a relationship comparison. I wouldn't say father.
Good
like
uncle.
Yeah, It's not a fatherly figure, but it's more like a friend, a fatherly friend.
Yeah. So, but she's aware that she is lonely. I mean, no question. Of all, the loneliest of all is a harsh one, but it's still in the mirror thing. So it's.
I like that she all is asking herself, because the mirror is her reflection herself, and she asks the mirror if she can hide behind him. Like, okay, if it's enough that because this is a very vulnerable side of her, and she asks, okay, can I hide behind you, because okay, this is the mask I wear for the outside, and to really ask herself, okay, what am I? What's inside of me? Because I feel lonely and empty, and so am I empty?
The interesting thing is, if you didn't watch the trailers, or if you did not analyze the songs of the trailers and then watch the season 1. You might guess that, but there's no clear, complete indicator there for that. But we know from later on. So the trailers gave us this information very much ahead of time before it was in any season already shown. So, and I mean, the whole story arc about her past and what happened to her and so on is like season 2 and 3, and even now going in season 5 is still going strong, you know? So, but in season 1 it was not really.
Yeah, she was very cold then, and very bitchy, and I like that the kind of heart turned into stone. Yeah, there was that one. Turned to stone.
Yeah. The question is, does she talk about herself here? Does she talk about her mother?
Thing is, I'm not sure, but I had the feeling this is a reference to the evil queen in Snow White. Doesn't she have a heart of stone?
No, the heart of stone isn't. That is another fairy tale.
Yeah, but this is called.
A man.
No. This is not. Yeah, there is another fairy tale called the heart of stone or something. But I don't think this is the reference here. But I had the feeling that there was something with the evil queen here with her heart. There was something in the original fairy tale.
Might be. I don't remember then. So, but does she mean herself in the meaning of can a heart be turned to stone?
Yeah, because she feels colder and colder.
The question is, does she want it? Would she like her heart to be turned to stone so that she doesn't feel this lonely and this pain?
I mean, this is...
or is she afraid of it?
This whole song is actually... I don't want to go too far, but it sounds a lot like depression. Mm-hmm. Where you have, okay, the heart turned into stone is like, okay, is it... Can I stop feeling anything? And to the wish of disappearing after behind the mirror.
Yeah, but that would mean that she asks for it, that she would like it. And I'm not sure. I think it is both sides again.
It is possible. Is it possible that this is happening? It doesn't imply. But the thing is that she already asks herself this question, is that she's thinking about it.
And we have a long intermission.
Instrument section. Yeah, mirror again.
Well, it's not the best video when it comes to analyzing the text here, but I could find another one so fast. But save me from the things I see. So, I mean, there's a lot. That's her family, her father, what is happening, her mother, how she's behaving and turning into an alcoholic, as we know by now. But as well, the things that her father does with the company, I think. The bad things happening
to the Fanas, the Grimm, the things happening to the world. This is like referring to a lot of things. Like, okay, she sees bad things all around her, not just in her family, mainly in her family, but also like, okay, the things her father does, and he is successful with that, by the way.
I guess she
and the people they are surrounded by, as you can see at this party, is also like
there are very
ugliness.
Yes, ugliness there. But I guess she had a secluded view on the world as well as those people had, because she said, you don't have a clue at all what's happening in the world. And I'm pretty sure she had a similar, very close view on the world. But she still was able to look outside and realize that what the company is doing right now is wrong. So she was even able to break a little bit out of it, more than the most others are there.
I mean, I think she mostly, in my opinion, has this sense for what is good and what is wrong, right and what is wrong from her grandfather. Because he was the kind person who fought and who was
Mm-hmm.
bringing the company to success. I think that's the deepest source of what she is like. I want to be like that, you know. And I also think, yeah, true that she also has this closed view on the world. The question is, how was her mother? This is a very strong,
Yeah.
like, this is really influencing her, and we don't know what her mother's views were. Like,
Yeah.
well, if she was also like kind of an elitist, or because she's the daughter of Nicholas, was his name, right?
Nicholas, yeah, the reference
that
to,
she
to
is
Saint
like,
Nicholas.
yeah, more of his daughter, in the sense of that she has more of his sense of good and wrong, and or right and wrong. Why am I saying good and wrong? Right and wrong, and that through her mother she got this sense of, or additional view on the world.
The pride in being a Schnee definitely comes from the family
ability.
somewhere. The abilities, yes, they are inherited. And then we have here, I can keep it from the world. Why won't you let me hide from me? So, so that means, I mean, we've seen in season 1, she was able to not show to the outside how she felt inside. That's what she means. I can hide it so no one realizes how hurt I am, how lonely I am. But the fact that you realize, however good you may do that, you cannot hide from yourself.
Yeah.
You cannot mirror. There's always a mirror. You know what you feel. You cannot act as though you're not lonely.
Yeah. Just because you play for others the girl who they want you to be, you are still inside not becoming this if you are not really this person.
Yeah.
And she's the loneliest. And this is something, this is a little bit mean for
It's a spelling mistake.
For Klein. Yeah.
Well, that might be. I mean, so this is there we are again at depression. So she's on the on the stepstones to depression. There, no question. And sure, in a world with a lot of people saying I'm the loneliest is always stupid, because there will be someone else who's more lonely. But you tend to see it from your view, and she feels lonely. And the thing is here that she realizes it. She tells herself, "Yes, I'm lonely. I'm the loneliest I know." You know,
at least from the people she knows, right? Yes. I'm the loneliest from the people she knows. Though I'm not sure how. I think her mother, because this is interesting for me. The topic of depression and what her mother as an alcoholic does is more or less the same thing. You're falling into depression, and her way of coping it is by drinking.
Yeah.
So next is
from shadows. I mean, we had in the Ruby Red trailer and the lyrics for it, we had already each of them, and the beast lurking from shadows, I think it was. So there was already the indicator, Blake. Interesting is the beast, which was named there. So it was like, man, she's not so mean, but seeing later on that she's a faunist, and the beast very often refers to some kind of animal.
Yeah.
That was another hint.
And the shadows, that she is not giving it away that she is a faunist too.
I think from shadows, and these shadows mean more from the that she was working in an area which was grayish, to say at least. The White Fang was
it's several things.
It's multiple stuff, no question. Yeah. So here we go. Oh look, Adam and Blake. Yes, go nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the end, these are from all the trailers, so I just see the train. I think it's a very fitting beat for a train ride, you know?
For me, it's more I mean, this is a few years old, and the dubstep elements were kind of underground-ish in the time, and suburb, and you know.
So it's underground.
Yeah.
Fittingly. Okay, I can see that. I'm still trying to find like hints for Adam being more aggressive. Those are really nicely done videos. I really have to say the ones that Flynn puts out, they're really, really well done. And it's nicely done that it's now just her, you know? That was when she was split. And she split from Adam. There was a lot in it, I think.
It was not that much, in my opinion, because it's basically the story of the Faunas and how they felt, and what their common goal was before they split, and what I think from Blake's perspective was that's where they were like connected. They had the same opinion. That's why they were fighting for the same thing.
No, but what I mean is I've seen a lot of sentences or phrases in it that she used later on. So I can see herself in some of what she says here. And interestingly, I've seen at least one thing where I thought like, wow, that's way more radical than she is now. or was in the season then. But that's still in the time when she is together with Adam, so it's fitting. So, Red as Adam. Born with no life into subjugation. I mean, that is what we talked about. It's not only the Schnee company, it is many the people, many companies all over the world, and treated like a worthless animal. So that is what the problem was. Stripped of all rights, just a lesser being, crushed by cruel, ruthless human rules. So that's what the White Fang was standing against.
It is basically telling the whole story of what the White Fang is about and how their views are and how they receive the treatment of the humans against them.
But this one here is the White Fang. When it started, all we wanted was a chance to live our lives. So the White Fang in the beginning was about talking, about finding solutions together. Now in darkness, taking everything we want and we will rise. That's a change.
That's also why they take
new leader.
They take everything they want. That's when they steal the train.
Exactly, yeah, which is a Schnee. Will rise.
Which is basically Adam's goal and their goal at that point.
Yeah. And from shadows they will descend and take back what you stole. Then I ask myself, in what is he talking about? His rights, in his opinion, or is he talking about real goods that they stole? I mean, if you see it like we dig up the dust as example. So the fauners dig up dust and they get paid like nothing for it. Just as a point.
I think it's more the dignity. And
I think that's
the thing is also this is where it said they were. This is not just a parting point where Blake separates from Adam. It's also the point where Adam gets more and more radical in his views and in his opinion, like that he really sees humans as that they're
a lower race
and everything.
And he's like, so I kill him. What? I mean, that's the point where she's in the train. I remember the exact moment when she asks, "What about the personal, the people here?" And he's like, "What about them?" You know, the moment when you realize that he doesn't care at all. He didn't even think about it. So, and it's not only that, but you can hear in his voice is like he's enjoying it a little bit. So he's like, come on. No, this.
I wouldn't say that. It's more like, why are you caring about them? Like, okay.
Binding of our fate.
It's interesting that she talks more about the passive things while he is more talking about the strong darkness, shame, ridicule, hate, while she has torture, pain, which is what you receive, and binding and fate this is more like, okay, this is passive. His words appear stronger, which could also be the hint that he has a way stronger opinion about this and go hints that he's going a different way.
I see it in hate, yes, but seeing torture on her side is not a weak thing either.
No, but it's like, okay, this is a received thing.
As is shame, or it's feeling more. But
torture is okay. Your torture and pain is okay.
Something you get, and the other shame and hate
what
is
you
what
feel
you feel,
and what is resulting out of it.
And the binding of our fate, it might relate to the two of them bound by their common goals in this case. Might be.
I think it's more above the binding of our fate, the fate of being a lesser being. They were born into this and they were escaping it.
Yeah, so, but here we are. Degenerate. Stop calling him a degenerate. I remember the scene when Weiss, when they first met Sun. And Sun passed them. And Weiss was following him and asked, I think, Penny about, have you seen the riffraff, this degenerate, this? So she was using a lot of negative words for the faunus there. And this is here, so we have the degenerate in there. Liars, thieves. It was the discussion with Weiss and Blake has a lot of those words in it from both sides in this case, which it reminded me.
It's also giving us a lot stronger view about what they actually were called, because this what it was just discussed, that the faunas were mistreated and everything, but what exactly happened was not like,
we have not really seen it.
It was not really like, except for, hey, no faunas allowed, but you didn't have anywhere like where they were concretely like, no faunas here, and especially those words like liar, degenerate, killers, psychos, insane criminals, heartless, is very harsh and really like outlaws you from everything. Like because this words is like, okay, this really are worthless, not just worthless beings, they also are bad individuals.
Very deep dark
yeah,
here. It is close to not having the same rights.
Yeah.
It is
you should better kill them.
The scum of the civilization. What they point out here. Yeah, I can see that. Stupid mutts and nothing but pure evil. There's nothing like pure evil. That is what she said to Weiss. So that's why I meant. And this is what surprised me, primal bloodshed. Because that's her talking here, is all that's left to do. So it is Blake. And this sentence I normally would have waited for being from by Adam. Yeah, because that is Adam talking. Primal bloodshed is all that's left to do. So once again, canon, not canon, but I think this is very close to being canon. I can really see that she was close to following him.
And she was following him. She was not leaving with her parents.
In the meaning of going to kill. Following him even one step more, and she chose against this step because that was the moment.
Well, the thing is that I think this topic of it's a necessary evil in the sense of it's necessary, that the sacrifice have to be made, and this is like Ilya,
which we had in this season now,
yeah. And I think this was very similar for Blake, that she had this also feeling, there are necessary sacrifices.
Yeah, because Adam talked her into that when she talked with the girls about after the fight of Yang, when Yang broke the leg of Mercury. She talked that she felt she had something similar happening to her before, and talked about Adam and how he changed from it was self-defense, then it was an accident, then it was just, so
it
this
became
step by step.
It evolved from necessary evil to simple.
Just because they can.
No, just because they are less than we are.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we now in season 5 see these steps once again being done by Ilya. Exactly these steps, and she's
for different reasons.
For different reasons, sure, but it's the same. And it's once again Adam who tries to draw someone into this dark world.
I don't even think so that he needed to. For Ilya was another thing, the initial driver, and it just pushed her there. For me, this season was interesting because Adam lost his cool. He really is like descending into insanity. Yeah. Like he is going mad. He's getting more and more emotional. Even when he was like left by Blake, he was not emotional at all in this very moment. And while he's currently, kill them off, he's currently evolving from, okay, I respect your decision, to I will revenge, and everyone who is not my opinion has to go.
Yeah, it's my side or the enemy. Yeah. So we're misguided, sure. And once again, treat like animals, should hide.
Criminals,
Yeah. I'm not sure about addicted. I don't know that word.
I think it's meaning that that's the thing with, okay, you are born into it. You are born to be less
than others. Okay. I'm tired of being pushed around, and we will fly. So the we will fly is a clear theme. So it's not about flying. It is clearly for being free to do what you want, to live your life, spread your wings.
I think that's the repeat.
I think that's
reclaim our destiny.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll reclaim our destiny. It's like, okay, I refuse, which is again a destiny thing. Do you believe in destiny? Yes or no?
Oh yeah, true.
And they take destiny in their own hands. We are not. We were born into this situation and we change it. Maybe in hindsight, maybe not the best way how they changed it or how they tried to change it, but still the feeling of, no, I'm not accepting that I am born into a society which treats me as a lesser being. I am more than that. I want to have my right of being treated equal.
And last but not least, for this time, and once again it's from someone else, Jeff and Casey. A lot of flashing again. Lots of guitar. When they scrape you off the floor.
Down to ash, gasoline, kerosene, strike a match, ignite the scene. Shit will never be the same. Feel the fury of my flame. Beg for mercy, it won't help. Embrace the ending you were dealt. Seems you fucks will never learn. Now sit back and watch me burn.
So that was Jeff Williams. Well, that was a very one-sided one.
Yep.
But that's a nice one. So, just because it is here. So, Jeff and Casey Lee Williams. Jeff Williams is the one making the score for, up until now, all seasons. So, every music we heard until this moment is from him. Even every music in the seasons underlaying it, in the background. And Casey Lee Williams, his daughter, is the one that's doing, as far as I know, most of the females singing. I think there might have been one where someone else. So who might that be about? Well, so
this song, I mean, we don't even need to go through it ever because it's very, very clear. Okay, it's about her view of herself, her self-confidence, and that she has this what is later on also discussed in the series, that she relies on her swing
on
all
her
you
semblance.
want, and that
Exactly.
she relies on
You'll
her
break me,
semblance.
you can come, and then I will punch back harder.
This is at a time also where she basically flows over with self-confidence and this inner the strength and everything, which is later on. And this is interesting. It's not hinted that it will be shattered. And this is also why her hand is shaking and everything. This is this self-confidence that you can't do anything to me is like broken because she lost her arm. Someone did something to her. She's vulnerable. She is not a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I like those references. I mean, this
because
is clearly not canon there because this is breaking the fourth wall. So we have Super Saiyan and we have Johnny Blaze and everyone else. So that's really... but there you're starting up a fight that you just can't finish. So it is the complete 100% trust in that she will win.
Yeah.
Which she has at the beginning. I mean, when we see her in season 1, she's like, even when she's in the trailer going into Junior, I mean, this is a bar full of people from the underground with axes and later on guns and everything. And she's like, yeah, whatever. So that's very fitting. And then we have the
rap.
Yeah, sure, but Pyromaniac, my desire. I'm searching for the options that you could make it up.
This is the refrain again.
Yeah, I think I missed it somewhere here.
Oh, that's
I think it is. Ah, there it is. It doesn't have to be this way. And there we have it. Let's kiss and make up, and then you'll learn. So remember the scene with Junior when she was like, "Come on, let's kiss and make up," you know, and then she punched him again. So even that's not real.
Not she asking for a drink or something. You're allowed to give me a drink or something.
Yes, the one of those with a little umbrella in it.
Make a little umbrella. Yeah.
So
that's the self-confident girl, which is getting lost over time.
Well, it had to happen somehow.
Yeah,
you know, when you see that. So that's it for this time, I guess. All three of them. There's not too much, as Evil already mentioned, for this song, the one from Yang. It's very fitting. It was discussed a lot. What is in there? We don't have to go through it line by line. So this is it for this time. The next one should hopefully be already on my Patreon. Well, it's taking some time here.
Yeah.
And this is it for this time. My name is Relax and Panic.
And I am Most Evil Life Form.
Goodbye and out.
Bye.